Yotemite, guys! My name is Godzi, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry console arcs. Last episode, we began Tsukiotoshi as Keiichi and Shion created an alliance to, I don't know, break into Teppei's house. And I don't know what they were trying to accomplish now that I think about that more. But, yeah, and now they're in Irie's car, and I've been listening to this music for like 10 minutes, scrolling on my phone, waiting for my heater to turn off, and it still hasn't. But, oh well, here we are. We're reading. It's probably gonna turn off like right now, isn't it? Watch this. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I guess not. Alright, here we go. The car continued pushing forward through the dark abyss. I couldn't see any lights. I couldn't hear anything. Just the sound of my heartbeat echoing inside my head. The front windshield was beginning to cloud over from the humidity. The entire village was covered in a thick fog. Persona 4? That's so crazy. The car's headlights could scarcely illuminate the dull gray surface of the road. I felt like I was being watched. A pair of glimmering eyes were silently coming closer, glaring right down at me. So Keiichi's already got Hinamizawa syndrome. Epic! It can't be. Calm down. Calm down. I just need to keep looking forward. Forward? Even though I don't know my destination. Creak, creak, creak. A sharp sound rang out, like nails scraping long glass as the car suddenly came to a halt. I unhooked my seatbelt and stepped outside. Then I looked in the direction of the headlights. What? A pool of stagnant water. The swamp in front of me looked bottomless. Okay, what's fucking happening? You almost get in a car accident, you hear what sounds like someone getting stabbed a couple times, and you're like, that swamp there. Eh? I let out a brief cry and immediately fled the area. What? When I turned to look back, the car was already gone. What? Beyond it was nothing but darkness. A warm breeze blew across the back of my neck. As I stumbled forward, I found a fork in the road. I had to choose. Advance forward. Make a decision. Choose, advance, decide. Choose, advance, decide. Choose, advance, decide. And then you're not gonna let me, right? Mayabara-san? Oh, it was a dream. Oh, okay. A sudden voice caught me off guard. Are you alright? It looked like you were having a nightmare. Irie was in the driver's seat, anxiously examining my face. Then I remembered. I was still in Irie's car, on the way home after dropping Shion off in Okinomiya. Before I knew it, I must have fallen asleep. A nightmare, huh? Am I really awake? It doesn't feel like it. My body still doesn't feel as lively as usual. I raised my inclined seat, drenched with sweat from my back. Looking out the window, we had already passed through town and were about to reach Hinamizawa. Sorry. I'm just a little tired. That's understandable. You experienced a tough situation earlier. I recalled the words that Shion cried out. That doesn't help anyone. If only Satoshi-kun was still here. Satoshi Hojo. That name echoed through my mind like a curse. I no longer cared if I got cursed. I'd gladly sacrifice myself in order to help Satoko. Hey, Coach? What kind of person was Satoshi? Irie furrowed his brow for a moment after hearing that. Then, after a brief sigh, he spoke softly. You've heard the story about Satoshi-kun running away from home, right? Yes, you mentioned it before. It's just that everyone starts getting evasive whenever the topic of Satoshi comes up. Indeed. The people of this village can't help but see the connection. Did he really run away from home? What do you think? Irie gave me a piercing glance as I asked that. No, I feel like... Could it be? Do you believe in the curse of Oyashiro-sama? I don't know much about it. Irie lightly raised the corner of his lip. Was he laughing? It was hard to tell. Do you believe in it? The curse of Oyashiro-sama? I'm a man of science, it's part of my job, but ever since I came to this village, I've always felt a bit of a supernatural presence. Oh my, it's getting foggy. Oh, Persona 4 again? Irie cut off the conversation to turn on the wipers. Huh? That doesn't help. I mean, I guess it would help a little with fog, wouldn't it? Because it's, you know, it's moving the fog, whatever. But so would the car's creating more wind, whatever. They drew a milky white semicircle along the front windshield. Floating on, wiping off, floating on, wiping off, floating on, wiping off. Is that how fog works? I've driven in fog and it doesn't do that. Am I just stupid? What? Or is the game stupid? Fog's like, just, it doesn't sit on your car. Whatever. That cycle repeated indefinitely. The sound constantly repeated at regular intervals, like the second hand on a clock, and the periodic rhythm was getting on my nerves. Indeed, that sound was a constant reminder that I was on a time limit. The time to make a decision was rapidly approaching. Even if I ran away, it would follow me. I felt like I was lost in an endless maze, and I suddenly began to shiver. We've gotten off topic. Perhaps you should ask Shion-san about Satoshi-kun. Huh? I think Shion-san knew him better than I did. Shion? Irie gave me a gentle look as he nodded. Shion-san and Satoshi-kun were very close. In a sense, well, they were very dear to each other. That's why she has such strong sisterly feelings towards Satoko-chan. Shion and Satoshi were... So, as far as Shion was concerned, Satoko was her beloved partner's one and only little sister. Then, was that why she was trying so desperately hard to help Satoko? Yeah. Yes. That is why. There did seem to be some connection between Satoko and Shion. Despite being a member of the Sonozaki family, her attitude towards Satoko's predicament was clearly different from Mion's. If only Satoshi-kun was still here. Was your heart being squeezed by thoughts of Satoshi-kun as you shouted that, Shion? Am I just an outsider here? I couldn't shake off a nagging feeling of jealousy. Shion and Satoko were both deeply tied to Satoshi, and there was no place for me in that circle. I guess this is a little interesting considering you're only supposed to do this after Mayakashi. So it's like you already know at this point Shion's thoughts on Keiichi and how complicated they are. But yeah, so that's interesting because as far as Shion would be concerned, Keiichi's absolutely involved. Not involved in like a direct way, but whatever, you know what I mean. We've all read Mayakashi, right? Read or watched it or something. We know what happened in it. Anyways. But Satoshi is the one who ran away from home and abandoned Satoko. I should just forget about a coward like that. Satoshi isn't here anymore. But I am. Me. I'm here. Shion's grief-stricken scream crawled into my ears again, and it wouldn't go away. If only Satoshi-kun was still here. But he's already gone. Shion, stop saying that. If only Satoshi-kun was still here. That bastard abandoned both you and Satoko, right? He threw you away. If only Satoshi-kun was still here. 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 Those words repeated over and over, like an incantation. I'm home. As I muttered that, I immediately made my way up to the second floor. Welcome back. Hold on, Keiichi? It's already dinner time. Oh no. What's wrong? You look unhappy. I heard my mother's harsh, thoughtless voice coming from behind my back. I want to be left alone. I don't want to talk to anyone. Slam. After violently slamming the door, I didn't even bother turning on the light and dropped down into my futon right where it was. The tension finally began to die down. I felt the strength draining from my body. I don't want to think about anything anymore. I rolled over and pulled the blanket out from underneath me. What? Suddenly, I felt pain coursing through my fingertips. Is this blood? I strained my eyes to look more closely in the dark. There goes my heater. It took another 10 minutes. Jesus. My nails were covered in dry blood, and it was getting all over the bed. Teppei stomped on my fingernails when I was down on the floor. I don't remember that, but okay. I guess it was a powerful attack. Why would Irie not tend to that? Wouldn't you have seen it happen? What? Okay, whatever. When I closed my eyes, an image of Satoko steadfastly refusing my help floated in front of me. It's frustrating, but what can I do? I gave up and ran away today, didn't I? Will my struggling only cause Satoko even more pain? Damn it! Bang. I slammed my fist into the wall as I cursed at my surroundings. Everything felt hollow. I didn't care anymore. An endless feeling of helplessness overwhelmed me. A restlessness nagged at me. A sense of danger caught up to me. I clung to what little self-respect I had. And then, I arrived at my destination. Despair. I noticed a shadow lurking in the darkness. It felt like someone was staring at me. It was just my imagination, of course, but I couldn't laugh it off right now. I pulled the blanket over my head, curled it around my body, and closed my eyes. I wanted to forget everything and fall asleep. Who's there? I began to doubt my ears after suddenly hearing a strange sound, and I faintly called out to it. Grating laughter echoed through the area. Tell me who you are! I thrust the blanket away and vigorously got up. I heard a creak as I made my way over to the door. The bright lights in the hallway blinded me. It's just your mom. Keiichi, why are you making so much noise? When I opened my eyes a crack, I noticed my mother standing in front of me with a concerned expression. What? Mom? I suddenly began to feel exhausted. What was I getting so nervous about? Yeah, Hinamizawa syndrome, obviously. Oh, were you already going to sleep? It's only dinner time. You look like you're not feeling well. Chin up, you'll waste that good face you were born with. Enough of that. I'm not hungry right now, so leave me alone. Don't be stupid. Even if you're not hungry, you still have to eat. We're humans. We'll die if we don't eat. If your spirit is exhausted, you need to put in strength into your body and push yourself forward. When you're feeling down, you need to eat twice as much as usual. This is horrible life advice. What the fuck? Hey guys, when you're sad, make sure you eat a fuck ton. Okay? No, don't do that actually. That can cause a fucking eating disorder if you don't already have one. Because some people do. You have to savor 3 meals a day. That's the secret to keeping your mind and body healthy. Sure, but don't say that first line. It's proven effective. Mom insisted on her folk remedies. 3 square meals is not a folk remedy, Keiichi. Then turned on the lights and opened the window. As I watched her from behind, I thought to myself that she was a really hardworking mother. Indeed, there was no greater love than smiling and chatting together as a family. It's such a minor thing, but when it happens every day, it really adds up. I always believed that these days would last forever. Satoko probably thought the same thing until 3 years ago. It's like suddenly falling into a trap, where your everyday life begins to collapse. And it could happen to me, too. I understand. Yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, good night. I wrapped myself in the blanket again to stave off Mom's interference. What are you saying? You need to get up. Rena-chan just came over. Rena? Oh, is she gonna involve herself now, finally? When I made my way to the entrance, I found Rena quietly standing there, as she do. Rena, what are you doing here at this hour? Did something happen?
Keiichi, it's 6 p.m. Yeah, kind of.
What happened? Rena bit her lip instead of answering my question. Rena?
Blood.
Oh. Rena was staring at the blood on the tip of my fingers. I was like, that's a tonal shift. I never washed them off. They're still covered in blood. Then, before I had a chance to say something, Rena muttered to herself.
Is his blood that red?
What? I'm sorry? Even if Keiichi has Hinamizawa syndrome, that's not a normal thing to say, girl. I suddenly began to tremble. It felt like Rena's eyes lit up in red for a moment. Rena-chan, you didn't have to do this. This is far too much. Mom came over to the entryway holding several large boxes.
I made too much food. Please, eat as much as you want. They're lightly salted. Huh?
Rena quickly changed her expression to show Mom her usual smile. Of course. I remember the croquettes? Croquet? Croquet? The sport? What is a croquette? Is that a thing? That feels made up. This feels like a made up food item. Whatever. I'm sure they're real, but whatever. I remember the croquettes from before. They were quite delicious.
Really? That's great.
My family must have eaten 20 of them.
I'm glad to hear you enjoyed them.
Rena's usual smile as she made small talk was bright enough to make flowers bloom. But was I mistaken about the Rena I saw a moment ago?
Anyway, it's about time for Rena to head home.
Rena said that to bring the conversation to a close, but she flashed me a sharp glare as she said it. It was like an unspoken agreement. Mom, I'm going to walk Rena home. Of course, it's getting late. Alright, Rena-chan, take care.
Good night, ma'am.
What is happening? Why did she say that? Seriously. And Keiichi, why would you go with her after she says, is his blood that red? Most people's blood is red, yes. Like, okay. Rena stepped out the front door without waiting for me to tie my shoes. After I finished putting my shoes on, I turned to Mom. What's wrong, Keiichi? I don't really know how to put this, but thank you for always taking the time to make dinner. Anyway, I gotta go. Huh? What's gotten into you? That's the kind of thing you say the day before moving out and getting married. Are you about to become Keiichi Ryugu or something? Great one. Shut up! Enough of that! Feeling overwhelmed with embarrassment, I avoided making eye contact with Mom as I ran out the front door. Mom was tilting her head to the side in confusion, but I couldn't help but speak up. I wanted to thank her earnestly for her role in my peaceful everyday life, so I thought it would be good to say something. I I began walking swiftly to catch up with Rena. She was far ahead of me, but the distance between us gradually diminished. Rena looked straight ahead, pushing herself through the darkness like I wasn't even there. A light emerged from the darkness ahead. A streetlight illuminated the road up ahead. Okay, just say ahead twice. I noticed a swarm of moths gathering around the streetlight. Scrape, scrape. I heard the moths' wings getting burned as they touched the fluorescent light, over and over. We reached the fork in the road. There was Tomatake's body. We kept walking. Wait, what? Tomatake's body? It's not the night of the festival. This is weird. Rena turned and started walking in the wrong direction without a moment of hesitation. Hey, Rena! Isn't your house the other way? Hey! Rena remained silent and continued at her current pace. Okay, no, there's absolutely something up with her. Was there something in this direction? I had no choice but to follow Rena. Oh. Wouldn't you know that's this way? Finally, we arrived at our destination, the mountain of garbage at the dam construction site. The area off into darkness was packed with garbage dumped here illegally, and a disquieting atmosphere began to drift in. After all, the corpse from that murder 5 years ago was found here. Even in the daytime, being here ran a chill down my spine. So being here alone with Rena right now was, honestly, quite terrifying. Rena advanced into the garbage mountain without hesitation, leaving me behind. Hold on, Rena! It's dangerous in the dark! You'll get hurt! Rena clenched her teeth and pushed ahead, as if my words didn't reach her ears at all. Rena climbed over a huge industrial refrigerator and disappeared on the other side of the mountain. Hey! Rena! My voice echoed vainly in the otherwise silent area. It was total silence. The surrounding area was bathed in a murky darkness. Answer me! Rena! But Rena didn't respond. Rustle, rustle. Something stirred inside the mountain of garbage. A chill suddenly ran through me. Starting to feel lost, I chased after Rena. I did my best to follow in the direction Rena went, but it was so steep that I had my doubts that I'd be able to climb it. Rena must be hiding incredible strength in that slender body of hers. Though I was out of breath, I somehow finished climbing to the top of the garbage mountain. Standing at the top, I could see a faint light. It seemed to be coming from a station wagon buried deep into scrap, so she's doing her whole hideout thing. Oh, wait. Okay, no, I think I see where they're going. It's a combination to... But wait, why would they do... Hold on, no, why would they do that? I was about to say, oh, it's a combination Tatari Garoshi Sumi Horoboshi. Except you would be supposed to read this before Sumi Horoboshi, or rather, you can, according to the game, at least. So... What? Maybe it's just implications of it, and Rena's back in town, so she's also fucky-wucky. Rena? Are you in there? As I approached the station wagon, I cautiously looked in through the sliding door window. Despite its crude appearance, the interior of the station wagon was neatly organized. It was decorated with cushions Rena would find cute, and there was a stuffed toy on display. I heard a faint sound just outside my line of sight, and turned to find a huge-eyed hamster in a small basket. Is this Rena's secret hideout? Rena, are you there? I'm coming in. I pulled the sliding door open and found Rena sitting on a mattress in the back. Her eyes were wide open, gazing at the ceiling. Rena, was there something you wanted to say to me? If that's the case, please talk to me. I'd like to hear it. Rena slowly turned in my direction.
This is Rena's hiding place. This is the place I go when I'm feeling angry, sad, or lonely. Because nobody ever comes here. If there's nobody else around, then nobody can say or do terrible things, right? Being alone puts me at ease.
You shouldn't say things like that. We're here for you, aren't we? Aren't we friends? You can rely on us when times are tough.
Keiichi-kun, you sound like the hero from some TV drama. How meaningless. Keiichi-kun, you always say that Satoko-chan is your friend, right? Right? Even so, Satoko-chan is still suffering alone. You have a happy family, Keiichi-kun. That's my you don't understand. The pain of losing it.
Rip? Okay. Oh. Okay, yeah, no. I'm sort of right, maybe? I don't know. Rena grabbed her hair and tugged at it with every ounce of strength in her body. An entire bundle of hair came out and fell to the ground.
It hurts so much. It hurts.
Why are you saying nothing, bro? There was nothing I could say to her. What? Maybe stop doing that? She hit the nail on the head. You were literally just sympathizing with that idea earlier. Or you were attempting to empathize with it, but you were sympathizing. Even though we were friends, that meant nothing for Satoko right now. I felt ashamed of myself for speaking so passionately about friendship. Arguments and lip service were simply not enough to change reality. I felt frustrated by how helpless and cowardly I was. But at the same time, I felt like I was being crushed by my fear and anxiety. Rustle, rustle, rustle. I heard the sound of the trash falling apart. A towering mountain built from a mass of human greed. It almost sounded like a scream from someone under attack. Rena, Rena's eyes were wide open and filled with tears. The tears slowly dribbled down her cheeks, then dripped to the ground below. Rena? I looked more closely at Rena's vacant expression. Then she quietly stared into my eyes. Rena took a deep breath to collect herself.
Keiichi-kun. Rena.
I nodded while looking Rena directly in the eyes.
Rena already needs to say goodbye to Keiichi-kun.
Huh? Goodbye?
We'll never meet again. Rena is going to disappear right in front of Keiichi-kun's eyes. Farewell. That's all. I just wanted to say that properly.
Farewell? Rena, what are you talking about? Farewell? Why are you suddenly saying that?
Rena is also sorry to say goodbye. Even so, this is farewell.
Wait, what on earth is this all about? Why won't you tell me anything? Why are you keeping it to yourself? Feeling restless, I grabbed Rena by the shoulders at full strength. Rena looked up at the ceiling without changing her expression. Don't say things like farewell! Don't say it. My throat was tightening, and tears were beginning to leak out. I was about to suffocate. I couldn't bear it any longer, so I fell down onto Rena. What is this? Rena gently stroked my hair like a baby. Then she whispered softly in my ear.
I'm going to kill Teppei.
Why are they setting up some Bonnie and Clyde shit? Keiichi's obviously gonna jump on board with this. They're literally just setting up a Bonnie and Clyde story. Why not? The next morning, Rena wasn't at our usual meeting place. At first glance, it seemed like a fairly trivial detail. But a thought came to me. That the gears had started turning. Even though Rena wasn't here, I could still hear her voice echoing through my ears. I'm going to kill Teppei. I'm going to kill Teppei. Kill. Kill. Rena's voice continued echoing. Guided by those words, I pressed onward and made my way to school on my own. What the fuck? Oh no, she is here? I found the usual morning scene inside the classroom. Rena was already in her seat, chatting gleefully with Rika-chan.
Are you looking forward to the festival tomorrow, Rika-chan? Me... I can't be as carefree about it as you are, Rena. I'm feeling groggy and I'm about to pass out, thanks to all the practice and rehearsals. Rika-chan is gonna look so cute in a Shrine Maiden's outfit. Just trying to imagine it. Too cute.
Rena stroked Rika-chan's head with an enchanted look in her eyes.
It seems like Rena is about to take me home with her. Rika-chan, you're pretty sharp.
Rena was getting along with Rika-chan. She smiled and called out good morning as soon as she noticed me. I couldn't discern anything from Rena's expression, just a generic smile on her face. I suddenly felt a sharp jab on my back. When I turned around, I saw Mion standing there. Good morning, Kei-chan. Good morning. Hey, wait. Mion sat down in her seat to evade my words, then said sorry as she clapped her hands together. What was that all of a sudden? Did you do something to me? Kei-chan, you really didn't realize? Mion examined my expression more closely. That doesn't help at all. I honestly have no idea. What the fuck's happening? Oh, I see. After muttering that, Mion's expression began to cloud over for a moment, but her face quickly changed back to something brighter. Then it'll have to stay a secret. Come on, you don't have to be that way. What is it? Don't hold back. It's not such a big deal. You know how I was late for our meetup today? Yeah? But come to think of it, that's true. I didn't think much of it until Mion brought it up. I was so concerned about Rena that I completely failed to notice Mion wasn't at our regular meeting place. Sorry about that. I was dragging my feet a bit before heading out of the house. I was making good time, but I packed the wrong textbook and that threw everything off schedule. I really dropped the ball. I noticed as soon as I left the house. I went, huh? Then rushed back to swap them, and that's why I was late for our meeting. Mion, why are you trying so hard to lie to me? He never makes such an obvious mistake. Based on her rough appearance, I could tell she wasn't feeling insecure about her punctuality. She went out of her way to make up this big excuse even though I didn't ask. Did she have some sort of ulterior motive? Besides, Mion has been late for our meetings a couple times before. So why would she only bother to apologize for it today? At first glance, it seemed like a fairly trivial difference. A trivial detail, a trivial change. A second gear started turning. Huh? Kei-chan, your eyes are all red. They look completely bloodshot. Does that mean you stayed up late last night? Oh, really? I was watching a really interesting late-night TV show. My mistake. I instinctively reacted with a lie. Hey, that's straight out of my playbook. I absolutely couldn't tell Mion about what I discussed with Rena at the garbage mountain yesterday. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. Plus, I found a manga that I had been neglecting to read, so I stayed up until morning reading it. Wow, an all-nighter. Must have been a really interesting story, huh? No, not really. It was a pretty conventional story. Nothing worth talking about. Pfft, nothing worth talking about, huh? Mion continued prodding me. Why would you deliberately say that? It felt like I was on the wrong side of an interrogation. Maybe I was just overreacting. Still, the burden of keeping secrets from my friends weighed heavily on me. I was feeling abnormally sensitive, afraid that I might just scream at a moment's notice. That's my everyday! Not really. Only when I'm at work. Shit, I'm gonna be late for work. Oh wait, it's Christmas. Anyway, about yesterday. Huh? What about yesterday? I have something to say, Mion. What's gotten into you today? Let's not hold anything back from each other. We're friends after all. Fucking windows, go away. In that moment, I suddenly fell silent. I felt a stinging pain in my back. Rena was watching. Her eyes were looking in my direction with a piercing gaze. I wanted to talk to you about yesterday. I was too harsh on you. I went too far. It's fine. Forget it. I said some terrible things to you too, Kei-chan. Besides, I'm the kind of person who can forget everything after a good night of sleep. That's Mion, alright. Mion pleasantly shrugged her shoulders and laughed with me. I felt like the weight on my heart was finally getting a little brighter. Brighter? Lighter. Hey, Kei-chan, was that all you wanted to say to me? Huh? Seemed like you had something else to say. Didn't you? So, Mion sensed something after all? I froze on the spot, as if hit by a magic spell. Felt like slow motion as Mion approached me, step by step. Just say, oh no, that was all. Well, there was something else, but I forgot. Hey, Kei-chan. We're friends, right? That means we shouldn't keep secrets, right? Why are you pulling his lines out now? Because we're friends. We're friends, right? Gulp. The sound of me swallowing vividly echoed. I let out a quick yelp after receiving a pat on the shoulder. Rena's head was slightly tilted as she stared curiously in my direction. Rena. Rena quickly turned away and then laughed softly as she looked at Mion. What are you laughing about, Rena? Mion asked that with a sullen explosion? That's the funniest mistake I've ever had. A sullen expression?
Because... Mi-chan, your eyes are all red too. Were you up late? Were you?
With that one comment, the string on tension wrapped around us finally came loose. Do you mean string of tension? Mion let out a huge yawn, then began to laugh. That's right. We had an annual conference last night. So sleepy, so sleepy. Was the conference related to Watanagashi? Nah, to Higurashi. Ah, wait, what? We call it a business conference, but it's really more of a party. The townspeople gather together and make a ruckus until morning. We do it every year before the festival. It's difficult to have a proper business conference nowadays. No way! Were you drinking? You're underage! Of course not! Quit nagging me. What are you, my brother-in-law? Caught up in Mion's boisterous laughter, I began laughing along with her without even realizing it. Is that a reference to something or just a cheeky joke that hardly relates? Rena and Rika-chan joined in, laughing together happily. Rika's probably just like, fuck, oh god, oh shit. If she's like particularly far in her time loops, she's like, oh god, it's both Keiichi and Rena. This is so fucked. Oh fuck. Fuck. Alright. Welp. I'm out of here, y'all. Bye. Like our usual everyday routine. Oh, fuck. The fucking piano, no! But for me right now, reality just didn't have that sweet, fluffy, cotton candy feel to it. It had a gritty feel that had all my senses on edge, thanks to the incident last night. Seeing those two eyes, spilling fresh blood, following disturbing shadows through the mountain of garbage, quietly entering a secret lair.
So, Michan, did you stay up all night because of that conference?
Huh?
You said that cleanup every year lasts until morning, right? Right?
Mion struggled to find a reply to Rena's conjecture. Her face quickly turned defensive, and both her eyes shifted into a sharp glare. But Rena didn't flinch. She just looked down at Mion. At first glance, it seemed like a fairly trivial disagreement. A trivial detail, a trivial change, a trivial disagreement. The two gears became entangled in reverse direction at a speed that nobody could possibly stop. And then Rena's voice continued echoing in my ears. I'm going to kill Teppei. I'm going to kill Teppei. Kill. Kill. How often does she actually speak in the first person? I don't remember that being something that she does often, like at all. Rena let out a huge yawn, then began to laugh.
Actually, Rena stayed up late last night, too. We all have that in common.
What are the odds we'd all be on the same wavelength?
But, learning that everyone stayed up together makes me glad. Glad.
As I watched Rena play around with an innocent smile on her face, I thought back to last night, again. Oh, there's more to it?
That man, Teppei Hojo, is Rena's enemy.
Enemy? Rena gently nodded, then casually picked up a stuffed animal sitting inside the station wagon. It must be a really old stuffed animal. It's completely filthy, and it's falling apart.
Isn't this stuffed animal adorable?
Well, it's not really what a man would say, but I do think it's cute.
That's right. That means Rena is the strange one, right? Right?
Rena gently stroked the head of the stuffed animal, then immediately began strangling it. Squeeze. The stuffed animal's face warped in an unsettling manner as she crushed its neck.
That's strange, isn't it? Rena just can't see it as cute.
Rena? If you keep squeezing it so hard, you'll break it.
It's because that woman gave me this stuffed animal.
Rena put every ounce of strength in her body into it as she said that. I didn't, though, sadly. Plop, roll, roll. The head of the stuffed oops. Ah, come on, fuck, up. The head of the stuffed animal was torn out and rolled to the ground. Rena hatefully clenched the remains of the stuffed animal in her hands.
This was from a filthy woman trying to win my favor. Despicable.
Rena threw the remains of the stuffed animal away, like she was trying to rid herself of something dishonorable. And then she wiped her hands on the hem of her skirt. Who is this woman?
I don't want to speak her name. My mouth would deform if I did.
In the face of Rena's cold strength, all I could do was keep breathing.
Honestly, it's not just for Satoko's sake. Rena has her own reason for killing Teppei. That man came together with that woman and made a mess of my family.
As she said that, Rena was wiping her hands so quickly and forcefully that they were turning red. Even in the dark, I could see a sharp, foreboding light glistening in her eyes.
And just when my father was finally beginning to look on the bright side and think of starting all over with her,
Rena bit her lip and slowly began to speak. It was the story of her family that she desperately tried to keep hidden behind a smile. A woman that Rena refused to even refer to by name approached Rena's father and deceived him to wrest large sums of money and property from him. The woman was actually Teppei's companion, and the two of them were collaborating behind the scenes. As fate would have it, the woman suffered a mysterious death right as Rena noticed what was going on. Thanks to that, the damage she was able to inflict was cut off before Rena and her father were forced to the streets. However, the scars left on Rena's family cut deep, casting dark shadows across Rena's heart. The hem of her skirt was turning red from traces of fresh blood. One small scratch grew and spread. But even so, Rena wouldn't stop moving her hands. How much of a difference was there, really? Between a wound that gnaws at your heart and a wound that bruises your body. A visible wound eventually heals over time, but an invisible wound can run so deep that it may last forever. Even many years later, a chance encounter can suddenly remind you that your bright red wound remains open.
Those people are vermin. They trample on a field that a man toiled desperately to plow, stomp on the beautifully blooming flowers, and devour the fruit from any trees bearing ripe fruit, ruining everything. And that's not all. Those people try to worm their way into people's lives, using detestable theatrics to portray themselves as sympathetic, while rolling them along and deceiving them like parasites. They're parasites! How dare they? How dare they!
Rub.
If it were only Rena, it would have been fine. My misfortune is a result of Oyashiro-sama's curse. I rightly deserve it, so I can bear it. But I won't let misfortune fall on Satoko-chan too. Not ever. Never.
Suddenly, Rena stopped moving her hands.
Right. That was it. In the end, that was it.
Rena?
Rena saw it in her dreams. 8 hands. Those were the legs of a spider, intent on exterminating the vermin.
8 hands? Rena nodded with a vacant smile, still lost in a dreamlike state. Thinking about it now, the 8 hands that Rena mentioned, Rena's own hands, of course, and probably the hands of 2 more people who joined in on the plan. But who did the last 2 hands belong to?
The hands of Oyashiro-sama.
Rena muttered just that. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Something made a noise off into darkness. I felt a chill run across my back. In that moment, I didn't have the courage to look behind me.
Keiichi-kun, it's time to say goodbye. So, farewell.
Don't say farewell. I may not understand all the pain and hardship you've endured on your own, but is there really nothing I can do to help you? I can't say something cool like I'll support or protect you, but I think I could help do even a little to take your mind off your troubles. Maybe all I can do is listen to you, but even so...
Thank you. I'm happy to hear that you feel this way, Keiichi-kun. But after you murder someone, it's impossible to return to your old life. In order to obtain something, you have to give up something of greater value. So Rena needs to leave everyone behind in order to protect the things she holds dear. And so, this is farewell, Keiichi-kun.
So if she's like this, then what the hell was the blood comment about anyways? Rena turned to me and smiled as hard as she could, with huge eyes full of tears. Then she turned back, opened a door, and disappeared into the darkness without a moment of hesitation. At that moment, when I was sitting alone in a field of garbage, I could only watch Rena's back as she stood tall and pressed onward. And even now, after all this time had passed, All I could do was stare at Rena's back. After class, Rena said that she couldn't stay for club activities and was about to leave the classroom on her own.
Anyway, it's time for Rena to head home.
See you tomorrow, Rena!
Be careful on the way home, Rena. Yeah, bye-bye, Mi-chan. Bye-bye, Rika-chan.
Rena.
Farewell, Keiichi-kun.
Rena turned to me with a pleasant smile as she left the classroom. It wasn't too late. If I held my hand out, I could still reach her. But I couldn't do it. As a result, Rena's back got smaller and smaller. And then, she disappeared completely from my sight. Perhaps we'll end up destroying the things we can't repair with our own hands. Seeing Rena leave me filled me with despondence. I sat back down on my desk and buried my head. Rena entrusted me with the details of her plan, and it drifted through my mind so many times. But in my dreams, I was taking action. That unforgettable feeling ran through my subconscious visions, but I wanted more. I want to kill him myself. Once again, I saw my true feelings. I'm going to kill Teppei. I'm going to kill Teppei. Kill. Kill. Rena's words continued echoing on my ears, and my heart was racing. I want to kill him. I want to kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Kill. Want to kill. Kill. Want to kill. 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 Want to kill. Kill. Want to kill. 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 Want to kill. Kill. Want to kill. Kill. Jesus Christ.
Kei-chan?
An unexpected voice calling out my name brought me back. When I looked up, I saw Shion standing there with a haggard expression. It seems that a long time had passed without me realizing it. Mion and Rika-chan have apparently already gone home.
What should I do now? I just don't know.
Shion made a painfully distorted face as she clutched her hair. Shion, what's wrong? Why'd you come all the way out here? Shion let out a deep sigh, then collapsed into the seat right next to me.
Satoko did it again.
Did it again? Did something happen?
The Okinomiya Child Consultation Center finally responded, and Satoko turned them away again. Why is she so stubborn? So obstinate? I guess Satoko is just a strong-willed little girl.
Then, does that mean it'll be just like last time? Shion responded with a helpless nod.
And now, Satoko's abuse won't escalate further.
No way. It can't be. Shion let out a self-tortured laugh, and in the end, it was mixed with tears.
All the more reason to kill him!
I want to kill him. Kill, 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 kill! A grievous cry erupted from the depths of Shion's heart. Her words resonated vigorously with the rage inside my chest. That was it. At this point, I finally realized that all options other than murder had already been exhausted. Are you willing to risk your life for Satoko's sake?
Huh?
Shion gazed at my face in astonishment. Answer me. Depending on your reply, I'm willing to share everything with you. Shion shook her head a little, like she didn't understand what I was getting at. I collected all my thoughts as I gazed at Shion. I won't turn away any longer. So if you feel the same way I do, just nod quietly.
Yes.
Shion muttered that in a timid voice, while giving me a stern nod. Then Shion's expression gradually regained its vigor.
Of course. Because Satoshi-kun left his beloved little sister in my care.
We stared each other down to measure the strength of our will, and then we both vigorously nodded to each other. Alright, Shion, come with me. I took Shion and headed to the garbage mountain. It's funny that they don't call it the trash heap in this. I thought about Rena sitting alone in her secret room surrounded by a mountain of garbage, and it made me walk faster. This is the path I walked with Rena last night, but this time, I feel no helplessness or shame. I promise not to look away any longer. There's only one thing I see now. Rena's delicate back, trembling in solitude, struggling to fight off incredible anxiety. Hold on, Rena. I'll catch up with you soon. You're not alone. I'll stand beside you. Let's turn and face this together. Society, morals, sin and punishment, everything.
What are we doing in a place like this? It's kind of scary.
Don't worry. Trust me. Shion looked a little hesitant, but she quietly nodded. It's alright. I'm not leading you to the gates of hell.
Of course. If you try anything funny, Keiichi, I'll snap your neck at Mach speed and hit the ground running.
Wait a minute.
That's just a basic level of self-defense, right?
Shion finally had a smile on her face. I felt relieved and smiled back at her. The two of us held hands. I guess it's Bonnie and Clyde. I pulled Shion by the hand as I ascended the mountain of garbage. I am going to be blatantly honest with this. There are parts of this that feel like shipbait. Okay? That's all I'm saying. This isn't written by Ryukishi. This is written by the console people. There are parts of this that feel like shipbait. Deliberate shipbait. Is that inherently a bad thing? No! I'm just pointing that out. Anyways, then we quietly approached the station wagon. Rena? Are you there? I felt an indication of someone breathing inside. Rena, you're there, aren't you? Rena quietly hid herself and wouldn't reply. Rena, just listen to me. I know you're true to your beliefs. So now that you said your farewell, you don't want to see me anymore. I guess that's how you see it. But I've made a decision. I'm not going to leave you behind. If you refuse and try to run away, I'll keep going and follow you the rest of my life. I'll keep you locked away like a hidden treasure. You see my point? You wouldn't want that, would you? Faint sounds creaked out from within the station wagon. I could picture Rena desperately shaking her head. Look me in the eyes, Rena. The door of the station wagon slowly opened, with the sound of a thump to the face. Then, Rena bashfully tilted her head up to reveal her face. Rena. I ran up to Rena.
You're so persistent, Keiichi-kun.
Rena laughed as she said that, but she froze the next moment when she caught a glimpse of Shion.
Why is Shi-chan here?
Rena's eyes carefully fixated on Shion. Rena, I'm here about that. Rena put a hand on the door to cut me off. Bang. Just barely in time. I managed to stop the door from closing, but had to sacrifice my right hand to do it.
Are you alright, Keiichi-kun?
Ow!
Was that a direct hit?
Shion calmly threw in an accurate verbal jab. Also, Kami? Who shuts a door like that? Seriously?
Sorry, Keiichi-kun. Rena didn't see your hand there. I didn't think I'd slam it on you.
Rena looked like she was on the verge of tears as she grabbed my right hand and tried breathing on it. Breathing?
Pain, pain, go away. Pain, pain, go away.
I couldn't help but laugh out loud.
Keiichi-kun? Have you gone crazy from the pain? Have you?
No. It was just that seeing Rena react like her usual innocent self made me feel relieved. I cleared my throat, then turned to face Rena once again. Rena, listen. I feel the same way as you. And so does Shion. Rena made a sideways glance toward Shion. Shion looked back toward me with a perplexed expression. About the plan you told me about yesterday. I'd like to help you. Rena's eyes opened wide and wandered in disbelief. No, that's wrong. I want you to help me. I'm going to do it. So lend me your aid.
What do you mean?
With my own hands, I'm going to kill Teppei Hojo!
Keiichi-kun! Kei-chan!
Shion let out a brief shriek, then stared at me in disbelief.
What do you mean by that?
It's just as you heard, Shion. I'm going to kill Teppei. Everything I told you yesterday was true. I'll fight to save Satoko. I'll save Satoko, by whatever means necessary.
But even so...
Are you saying there's a way that doesn't involve killing Teppei? Not a chance. Rena and I have both accepted that fact. There's no time left. I have to do it.
That's...
Shion's shoulders drooped and began lightly trembling. She bit her lip and furrowed her eyebrows. Oh, okay. As Shion raised her head, she burst out laughing with all the force in her body.
That's amazing! Absolutely amazing! The three of us all feel exactly the same thing! Euphoria! Those thoughts alone are enough to kill that scum! Rena is happy too. I feel that same love.
Their laughter echoed throughout the mountain of garbage. This is so campy. Whoever wrote this, I don't think read the VN. They just know how it's formatted, and they watched the anime, and they were like, yeah, let's make them crazier. An orchestra of loathing. A trio of murderous intent. I entrusted myself to that beautiful sound. This is almost like a comedy now.
Rena? Kei-chan?
Of course. I'll cooperate. I figured you'd felt that way, Shion. But this is a major decision. Don't rush. You can think carefully about this. Shion wore a courageous smile as she stood up straight and approached us.
Shi-chan? Well, are you willing to include me in your plan?
Rena turned her eyes toward me. We're fighting to defend our future. Not just for Satoko. Rena, I'll defend your happiness too. If you believe me, lend me your strength. Don't give up on your future. Grab hold of it with your own hands. Rena smiled and nodded at me. Then she and Shion placed their hands on top of mine. 3 overlapping hands. We all silently nodded. Alright! Then we all raised our hands toward the sky together.
Thanks, Keiichi-kun.
Does this mean you'll take back your farewell, Rena?
Yep.
Rena gave me a powerful nod and held my right hand tight. Ow!
Sorry, did that hurt, Keiichi-kun?
Something so insignificant won't kill him.
Pain, pain, go away. Pain, pain.
Shion began to mutter like she was adding her strength to Rena's spell. Okay. Pain, pain, go away. Pain, pain, go away. Suddenly, all 3 of our voices overlapped. Alright, yeah, okay. Tepe Hojo's pain, go away. Go somewhere else. Far away. This is so camp. Inside our secret evil villain there, we made an oath to pledge our sinful resolve. We held each other's eyes and locked hands. Then we deeply nodded to one another, determined to fight for our future. The sun's... Okay, no, we're done. We're done. I can't continue reading and taking it seriously right now. We're done for the episode, okay? Jesus fucking Christ, this is the campiest shit they've ever fucking done. After how fucking dry Taraima Washi was, this is fucking insanity. Alright. That's gonna be it for this episode, guys. If you liked it, then be sure to press the like button, and if you didn't like it, then fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye!